Hello everyone. In this video, we will go over the chapter 2.1 HTML document structure. Chapter 2.1 is really easy and simple. It's based on how HTML is structured. We have already seen this in our previous lectures, but we will dig a bit more deeper into this in this video. We will also see um, we have also you have also went through the HTML assignment, and you have probably gone to the HTML document structure over there as well, but let's review them once more. So HTML has three things. HTML is built using elements and tags. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It's a textual language for creating web pages. The HTML acronym highlights the three main characteristics of a web page. So uh, let's look over this participation activity. Um, Text that contains connection to other documents. Part of the document that explains how to interpret or structure the parts of the document, and a set of rules describing how to write HTML. So you have to practice this by dragging and dropping all of this, and you can reset it like you have done. So I've already given you one answer. Hypertext, text that contains connections to other documents. That's called hypertext. So you have to try this on your own. I'm not going to give all the answers here, but since this is your class participation, I'll go over the basic structure of the code and all that. HTML defines over 130 elements. An element is a single HTML structure element represented with HTML tags. So there should be an opening tag, there should be a closing tag. That's how elements are defined. If you look at this is an element. It has an opening tag, it has a closing tag. Opening tag starts with the smaller than and greater than sign. So, and in between them, you write the element name. So P is the element name here. P stands for paragraph, and the closing tag has this slash over here. So, for example, strong. This is an opening tag. This is a closing tag, and this is the element name. And then you have the contents in between them. So this is how elements are defined. Some elements like BR and image do not have a closing tag. A void element is an element that only needs an opening tag. You have some more participation activities here, like an element and a tag are the same thing, true or false. A void element contains content, true or false. So let's look over the HTML document. The HTML living standard produced by WhatWG defines the minimal parts of an HTML document. So HTML has it starts with doc type HTML. So if you have declared this in the code doc.type HTML, it basically tells the browser that hey, this is going to be an HTML file. So this is a declaration instruction in the web browser that what type of document follows. Then the HTML element encloses everything but the doc type HTML declaration. So HTML, we can define it like English indicates that the document's language is English. So if you have a HTML's opening tag, you should have a HTML closing tag at the bottom. And then within that, you have head and body. Within head, you can have meta and title. Head element contains the document title, document metadata, and various other elements that are typically not displayed in the web page. And the meta element specifies metadata, which is data that describes the document's data, like the meta char set or character set. UTF-8 describes how characters are represented in the HTML document. Additional meta tags may be used to indicate when the document was saved, who the author is, etc. The title element specifies the document's name. The title is usually displayed in the browser's title bar, is used by search engines, and is used for bookmarking. So the title for this page is section 2.1 CA1040 website development and Zybook. That's the title. And if you click over here, you can see learn.zybooks.com. That's basically a meta information for this website. So this is what's contained in the head. Whatever you see in the browser over here, all of this is contained in the body. The opening HTML tag uses an attribute to indicate the web page's languages, and meta uses an attribute to indicate the character set. An element attribute provides additional information about the element and is included only in the opening tag. An attribute has the name and a value specified among the form. Name value, name equals to value. Example, meta character equals to UTF-8. Here, this is the value and this is the attribute. Has an attribute name char set with a value UTF-8. So if you start with this, the doc type HTML, it mentions, hey, this is going to be an HTML file. And then you open with HTML tag, you close with an HTML tag, everything in between, like the body, the head, everything will go within this opening and closing tag of HTML. So nothing is loaded on the browser yet because we just defined that this is going to be an HTML file, but we have not written anything there. Now, if we start writing head and the title of the head, this title goes up there in this section. So that's the heading of the content or the web page. And then you have body. That's basically your text data that goes in the browser. So omitting the doc type from an HTML document. So this line, if we don't use it, or placing the characters before the doc type causes the web browser to render the document in works mode. Works mode is a browser rendering mode that renders the web page using non-standard layout tools, emulating older web browsers. A web page with a doc type is rendered using standards mode, which uses the HTML living standard. Now there are more participation activities. So let's learn about creating a web page. Try opening your favorite text editor. Popular text editors include like Sublime Text, Notepad++, or Visual Studio Code. For me, let me open Visual Studio Code here. I have a Visual Studio Code where I have these lines of code. I say doc type HTML. This is basically me saying, hey, this is going to be a HTML file. And then I open the HTML tag, close the HTML tag. I have the head, I have the body. So this is an example. So if I look into this, I save this in my desktop. If I open this file, if I open this from the Finder, or there is instructions in here as well how to open this. So create a new file, enter the HTML from the animation above the file. So we have an animation over here. You can use this, but I have used my own code. Save it to your computer hard drive as hello.html. So we can save it, save as in the desktop. I can save it as hello.html. Now this is hello.html. The file extension should be .html. It is necessary for your browser to know the text file contains HTML. Using the Chrome or your favorite browser, just press Ctrl O. It should open or Command O. Okay, it's not working. Command plus O on Mac for some reason. Okay, let me try again. Command plus O on my Mac. Open. For some reason, this is not loading. Okay, let me try manually. If I go to desktop, go from here. If I go to desktop, I have this hello.html. If I open this in the browser, yes, here it is. So this is CA1040. This is the paragraph. If we look into the code, this is CA1040 and this is a paragraph. But notice the title. This is an example. This is not shown in the browser because that's in the head. That goes up here. This is an example. This is an this is an example. Let's call it changed. I change this. I reload this here. It's changed. This is an example changed. This is a paragraph that I wrote for my CA 1040 class demonstration. If I save this, if I reload this, the code change. If everything changes, see? The, the Chrome browser shows the HTML file. Now, from the browser, we can inspect element and see the code ourselves, like what code was written using the DevTools. We do it by going here, we right click here and then say inspect. Inspect brings up our code over here. So here, this is an example, and then body has the header one, and then the paragraph. So everything is shown, the HTML code. You can go into sources as well and click on hello.html. It shows up the code. So if you want to copy some code, you can do that using inspect element. For example, if I want to copy some code from Wikipedia, we are going to be able to bring part of it, but there is a catch. Let me show you what I mean. So source index.html, it has lots of data. And I say I wanted to copy this code and make it mine. So I copy everything. I go here, paste here, save it, reload this. It didn't change anything. Why? Because did it save? This is giving us some error here. Let's just delete this part. See, this is my same hello.html. Now we have the Wikipedia copied, but not everything is here. Like the logos and everything, it's not loaded because we didn't copy all of them in our file. So we can change things. So the free encyclopedia, if we change that part here, it says in the body, we have the free encyclopedia that I copied. If I save this and reload this, code changed. See, so you can actually copy things or different websites using the inspect element, but not everything will render as it is. Like this code is not working because we didn't code it ourselves. Anyway, so there's a thing called HTML validator. Some elements that were used in earlier versions of the HTML are now deprecated. In HTML Living Standard, a deprecated feature is part of a language that is officially discouraged because newer or better feature exist, or because the deprecated feature is no longer considered safe. So there is HTML validator. You can use HTML validator like WCC markup validator, validated by file upload, validated by direct input. So you can validate your code here. So if I want to validate this code, I can go here, check. There are some errors. Element meta is missing one or more of the following attributes: character set, content. So this is missing that. Meta is defined, but meta has not anything in it. So this is some class participation activity. You can check this. No, no P element in the scope, but P end tag screen. So P end tag is here, but no P element is there. So what we can do is we can say, hey, this is wrong. If we start a P, P should be within, the content should be within this, and we can end the P here. If we check again, now HTML validator said, hey, this document is right. No errors or warnings to show. Like the modern browsers, we don't need HTML validators because HTML validators are already within this code. As you could see, I had error here. I scrolled at the right point and removed that. That solved my problems. If I do this, if I have strong opening tag and no closing tag, what does it do? It is not bolded anymore. So I think the strong bolds it and my class did not bold it anymore. So you can check with HTML validator if we remove things by mistake, where to find that or how to fix it. But major problems should show an error message within this browser itself. There are more advanced browsers like WebStorm, PHP WebStorm, or other web browsers, web IDEs that helps with the code. You can use that as well. So anyway, this is the end of chapter 2.1. In the chapter 2.1, the core concept that you need to learn, like how HTML structure is defined. You need doc type HTML, then you have body, inside body you have head, and you have, sorry, inside HTML tag, opening and closing. Within HTML tag, you have head and you have body. Body has all the elements, and head has things that are shown, not shown in the browser, but that is shown to the search engine or up here in the title that is used for ranking the websites. Thank you. We will cover in the next topic, we will cover the basic HTML elements. So we will look into different kinds of basic HTML elements and we'll practice more into HTML structures. Thank you.